Hello everyone, welcome back to another AnimEAZY video. And as you can see by this lettering over here, this video is on how to make loops and simple simulations. Wait, I'm forgetting something again. What was it? Yes, I remember now. I first have to welcome the new people, of course. So, everyone who is new to AnimEAZY, welcome to our channel. On this channel, I'm going to be teaching you how to make animations, and I'll also teach you how to code and make really fun games using simple softwares like Scratch and Microsoft Kodu and all that. And for animations, we're also going to be using simple softwares like Animator, Scratch, and many others that we will be discussing in the future. So, without further ado, let us begin by opening Animator first. So guys, first of all, I need to change my animation dimensions. So I'm going to go to options and I'm going to set it to the default HD animation dimensions. That is width 1080 and height 720. I have 9 onion skins, of course. Onion skins depend on you. You can increase or decrease. So I'm going to click on OK. There you go. Now let us center our figure. So first of all, before we get onto the more complex stuff, I'm going to be teaching you about perfect loops. Perfect loop is like most successful if one of your positions is like right in the center of the screen, because you can center your figure all the time. So what I'm going to be creating is a perfect loop that involves teleportation. So first of all, I'm going to have my figure right here in the middle of the screen. Then I'm going to use a teleportation effect called the fade teleportation effect that I have taught you guys how to use in another video, but if you haven't watched that video yet, then you can watch it right here. The link will be given in the description, but if you don't have enough time for it, then I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So we have our opacity set to 100%. I'm going to add a frame. I'm going to decrease the opacity quite a bit. I'm going to click and hold the opacity down button, and I'm going to keep adding frames. And guys, don't worry, your figure is totally transparent. It's just looking like that because of the onion skin. So I'm going to play this animation now. Yeah, nice fade, right? So I'm going to add a few frames. Alright. So now I'm going to move my figure to any random position, let's say right here. So now I'm going to keep adding frames. So now our figure is slowly fading in. There you go. So now I've got to make my figure fade out again, but before that I'm going to add a few frames just for clarity. Also guys, as you can see, I am constantly keeping my mouse pressed on that decrease opacity button. So I'm going to add quite a few frames right there. So now our figure is totally invisible, no onion skins at all, or maybe just one, and remove that as well. Now I'm going to center my figure like that, and then as you might have guessed, yeah, I'm going to keep increasing the opacity. So what I've noticed is that if you increase the opacity 1 point by 1 point, then it gets really slow, which I don't want. There you go. So now I've added quite a few frames. Now I'm going to play this. He appears there and then he fades out. He appears here. So if I loop this and then I play, then you'll notice that this will keep on happening and it's like a totally perfect loop. That is because one of our positions was in the center. But another thing that you can do is that you can make something like glide from this side of the screen to this side, and then yeah, that's the end. Then it will keep on gliding and gliding and gliding and gliding like that. Like you move it from here, keep adding frames like that, then yeah, that's it. So when you're playing your animation, it's gonna like first go over like that, then again it's going to start from here and just like that. Just follow my mouse pointer and you'll get the path. And this thing has been running in the background for quite a while. So that was how you create a perfect loop, and of course now you can be as creative as you want and you can create all kinds of perfect loops. It totally depends on you. Now I'm going to make another animation in which we are going to be learning about the simple simulations. To click on new, I don't need to save this. Yeah, so we have our default figure right here. So the first simulation that I'm going to teach you guys is the throw simulation. So I'm going to like move the figure off stage, and I'm going to click on file. I'm going to click on create figure type. So as always, I have a stick here, so I'm going to click on the convert button or toggle segment button, and that turns into a circle. Now I'm going to click on the circle fill button. There you go. There, that's perfect. So this is going to be a small ball. I'm going to add this to my animation. Let's name it ball. Let us color this with some sort of dark color. There's black, but I want something that's better. I think this green color does it. Yes. So first of all, I'm going to teach you guys about how to simulate this, a bounce. For that, we are also going to be needing a floor. So I'm going to create another figure. I'm going to convert this back to its line form, and that's all. So you guys might have noticed that I make floors in really few animations. That is because I think that the floors are really not needed, but in some animations they're really essential, like for the bouncing animation that we're gonna be making now. Yeah, now how can this tiny little piece be a floor? Of course, you press and hold Control on your keyboard and you pull this like that. But don't pull it off screen, then you will not be able to like settle it or adjust it in case you need it. There you go. So now that's a totally straight line, and I'm going to make the ball drop in from above. So I'm going to add a few frames that show only the line. Now the ball comes into the story. So I'm like constantly adding frames, as you might have guessed by looking at the audience skins. So now I'm going to play. And guys, one fun thing about this is that this is a perfect loop, in case you didn't know. So I'm going to play it and then you'll see how it's a perfect loop. So that's a nice little bouncing animation, and look at that. It's a perfect loop. Wow. And I myself didn't realize that this would turn out to be a perfect loop. Now also you can make better physics simulations. So I'm going to stop this and I'm going to make a new animation. No. Move this guy off stage, or let's rather delete him. I'm going to create a figure. Make a circle like that. Fill it. add, let's call this one ball once again. So we're going to keep this on the screen for a while, but this time we're also going to make the line again, but we will not extend it. I'm just going to make it a little thicker. We're not going to make it any longer. So I'm now going to click on File, Add to Animation, and this time I'm naming this thing Platform. There you go. So now I'm going to color this platform, let's say orange. Yeah, orange would be nice. And I'm going to place it right there. Now I'm going to copy, actually no, I'm going to copy this, the platform. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it right there. So we have a platform, paste again, have a platform. So I'm not going to make them like so close together. I'm going to put one right here, and then actually we don't need this one because I'm planning that I'm going to make the ball bounce right here and then right here, and then finding no platform to bounce on, it's going to plummet down. So this is the scenario of our animation. Now let us start adding the frames. As you know, you should always add a few frames at the beginning, which only show the scenario. Now I'm going to make the ball enter from above the first platform. Yeah, so I'm leaving a lot of space between each position. That is because I want the watchers to feel like this is a really fast animation. So it bounces to the other platform and then it bounces up and plummets down. There you go. So I'm going to play. Yeah. And this is a perfect loop again. So as you guys can see here, as I told, you can always be creative about loops and be creative with physics and simulations, and you can always do stuff like this. Now let us make a different kind of simulation. Now I'm going to make a simulation of this guy being kicked by a giant. So I'm going to add another figure, and this time I'm going to edit this figure. I'm going to add a small line right here. That looks like a foot, I think so. So I'm going to copy that and that right there. So we won't be needing the whole figure, but still I'm going to call this one giant. Yeah, this is still the same size, I know, but this is supposed to be a giant because I'm going to increase its size, of course. Yeah, who wouldn't have guessed that? Actually, you know what? This is pointless. 200 straight away. We need it to be still bigger. 500. Please work. Oh yes, that works perfectly. So we don't need a floor in this case. And guys, looks like we actually should have made the whole body. Yeah, this looks a lot better. So the giant is like gonna swing his leg and then he's gonna kick like that. Or let's rather do it like this. Swing his leg like that, and there you go. That looks quite a lot better. So now I'm going to add a few frames. He raises his foot and then he swings his leg back and kicks. There you go. Now that the kick hit the guy, he's gonna fly away. So now I'm going to press down Ctrl and Alt together and give him a slight tilt. So we're going to keep doing that every time we move it from now onwards. Do that again. So this is going to look like the guy is like spinning while he's moving, or rather flying. I think flying sounds more appropriate for this animation. So Ctrl Alt again. Also guys, it won't work if you just drag it by that, then only the top part will move. So you have to press down Ctrl Alt and then you have to just drag any node on the figure. Okay, I think we've already done that. No, we haven't. So I can just Ctrl Z that, then Ctrl Alt. There you go. Move that again. So he's like now going to plummet down. Now this actually should have used a little bit of ground, like right here beneath the giant's foot, because he couldn't be like, the giant couldn't be hanging in there and this guy couldn't like fall down through any ground. So yeah, we missed out on that bit. So I'm going to move it a little bit without tilting it once. Again, Ctrl Alt. Ctrl Alt once again. Ctrl Alt just a little bit. We missed a little tilt that time. So now it's going to drop down like that. It is simply dropping down, and as you guys know, if I want to speed the animation, I just delete it. So the giant moves his leg back. God, what have I done to myself? I'm calling a giant a dragon. And now he slowly draws back. There you go. So I'm going to play this animation. Yeah, look at that. That is some nice physics. Yeah, sorry for appreciating myself. I know that's a bad thing. So guys, you can always keep experimenting more and more with animation and loops and simulations and all the other things that I've been teaching you in this video. And of course, it's totally up to you what you make. And if you do make something nice, and if you want to tell me about what it shows, then you can of course write in the comments. Of course, I can't see the animation myself, but you can always write in the comments so I can read what kind of animation you're making. Okay, so that's all I had to say for this video, and I hope you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.